Now those are the lights over there. The way to access it, we have to first open up the hatch, and that right over there is the access panel. Just press down and get the panel out. Now if you have small hands and if you're just lucky, you may be able to access the bulbs without taking the lights out, but I wasn't able to. What you have to do is take the light out. For that you will need a 10mm socket ratchet combination, and you will need to get a deep socket, one that looks like this, and a flathead screwdriver. Now this light is held in place by 3 nuts. The first nut is accessible. It's right over here. That one. The other 2 nuts are behind this trim, and to access those 2 nuts you have to get the trim out. For that we have to take off 4 10mm bolts and screws. 4 of them. Now be careful that when you pull this trim out, the clips that hold it, the plastic clips, they may break. Get this first bolt out, get this clip out, the second screw, get that out, and get this clip out. Just keep in mind that the first 2 screws you took out were black colored. The third and fourth bolts you take out will be silver steel bolts. Just unlock these 2 locks and get this cover out. Now let's get this jack out of there. If you're working on the right side one, the passenger side, you won't have to worry about it. It's easier. But if you're working on the driver's side, you have to do this extra couple steps. Get the jack out. And now the fourth bolt is right over there. Let's get that out as well. And now we need to get this screwdriver and pry this trim off, and it comes right out. There you go. You just need to get it out enough that we can get the main trim, the one we actually trying to move, we can get that off comfortably. We also need to get this black trim piece out, and this black trim is held in place by those 2 clips in the front. They go right over there. And now finally you can pull the clips back on the main trim piece, and you can pry it back enough that we can access those 2 nuts. And even these you have to do it by feel. It's not really visible. I'm just going to point it out to you. The first one on the top is barely visible. The second one, the bottom one, you will likely have to get the screwdriver and get that electrical wire clip off, the white clip off of it. And now let's start taking all the nuts off. First let's get that accessible, the visible one. Let's get that out. And the other 2 nuts, we have to do it by feel. Use the tool to loosen it and then undo it and get it out the rest of the way by your hands. Get all the 3 nuts out and keep them somewhere safe. Now the light is loose. Put one finger right at the bottom and pull it out. That's going to give you enough gap on the top there. Put a couple fingers there and pull it out from there. Now again at the bottom. And at this point the light should be loose and you should be able to just get it out of the vehicle body. There you go. And now the only thing keeping it in place is the electrical connector. Just press down and get the connector off. Now that's the bulb holder for the reverse light. Just grab it and twist it left. Very likely it may be stuck, so you'll have to get a needle nose pliers or just any pliers to grab it and twist it left to get it out. Once it's out, all you have to do is just grab the bulb and pull it out straight. The bulb number is right there on it. 921 says it right there. That's what you need to get, 921. Go ahead, get the new bulb, align it with the pins in the bulb holder and push it down to secure it. When you put the bulb holder back in the light, you may want to pull that foam piece out so it gives you a better look. Make sure it sits in flush. See, just goes in, sits in flush. That's good. Just twist your right to lock it in place. And you are done. Get the electrical connector and click it on. And when you're putting the light back on, there's a cutout on the light, like a sliding cutout. Yeah, that goes on that white clip, and these 3 studs go in the holes. And take a look at this top stud. This is the one that was barely visible. Just see how for the most part this stud has no threads on it, and only at the very bottom it has threads. Just keep that in mind, and that's going to come handy when you put the nut back on. Align the light the way I'm showing. Make sure that cutout goes on the white clip so that it looks like this. See, it's not sticking out. Once everything looks good, just give it a push and it's going to go back in the body. Let's put that one nut on the stud that's visible. That one, just put it on and hand tighten it down all the way first. And then let's repeat the process for the other 2 studs. And the top one, the barely visible one, you have to first just push the stud down quite a bit. And then you start turning it because there's no threads for the top half part of that stud. Tighten it all down with the 10mm socket ratchet combination. And then just put the trim piece back in its place. Just tap it on. And that should get it in place. Get that bottom trim piece in position. Get this black trim piece in position and push it from there to clip it on. And now let's put this silver bolt on. Make sure you don't use the wrong bolt. Don't put that black screw. Make sure the silver bolt on there and tighten that down. Let's get the jack and position it correctly the way I'm showing. And then let's get the clip for the jack. and get it around the jack to secure it properly in position. Now let's put that cargo cover. See, it's got two tabs that go right over there, 1 and 2. You just slide on in the holes there, put it in place, turn this lock and the other one locked. Now let's put this trim piece back in its place, and this is held in place by the silver bolt. Again, keep in mind this is a silver bolt, not the black screw. Hand tighten it down first and then tighten it down properly with the 10mm socket ratchet combination. Now the trick with this plastic trim pieces is that you have to pinch that clip first. Just pinch it and then try putting it back in the body. Otherwise, those ends are flared out and they likely will not go in. So pinch it first and then put it back in, and then you should be able to just get that black screw in, tighten it down and secured. Repeat the process for the other one. Again, pinch it before you put it back in the body. Put the screw back on and tighten it down. And finally, let's put this access panel cover on, and that is finally it. Before we're done, let me just give a quick shout out to Naya Motors Inc. for letting us use the car today to film the videos. They are a used car dealer here in Ottawa, Canada. Check out the link in description for their entire inventory.